Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having an awesome day. So Lightroom just released another update, and usually I don't make videos about Lightroom updates because they're never that exciting. But this time Adobe actually did bring us some pretty cool features that I think are definitely worth highlighting. And today in this video, we're gonna be talking about those features and covering some of the most important ones. Before we jump into this quick video, guys, just want to remind you I'm giving away a free orange and teal preset pack. There's a link in the description where you can go to my website and download those. They're completely free, and I hope you enjoy them. But okay, so what are some of these new features in Lightroom Classic? Well, the first one is native support for Apple Silicon chips. So if you have a new M1 MacBook Pro or M1 MacBook Air that came out last year, now Lightroom is running natively on those chips, and it's much faster. I've been editing on the M1 MacBook Air base model. I paid $1,000 for it. I think you can get it now for like $800, $900 in the US. And before this update, Lightroom ran pretty well. You know, it was stable, it worked pretty well. But now after this update, it's blazing fast. I can sort through my photos very quickly, and it's just much easier to use. So if you guys are in the market for a laptop, and say your budget is $1,000, you can get that base model MacBook Air that I have, and you're gonna be able to edit photos perfectly fine. And if you guys wanna see a more detailed review on what I think about the M1 MacBook Pro, M1 MacBook Air for photographers and filmmakers, let me know. I'm happy to make a video like that if it's something you guys will find useful. But besides that performance upgrade, there are two other features that I think are really awesome. The first one is super resolution, and the second one, which is in the title of this video, are the premium presets that Lightroom added to Lightroom Classic that are actually pretty good. And I'm gonna be showing you guys those in a second. So let's jump on the computer, check out those presets, and test out this cool new super resolution feature. Okay, so here we are in Lightroom, and this is on the M1 MacBook Air, and you can see it just sorts through photos so quickly, way quicker than before. So I'm super pumped about that. That is something that we definitely needed. The other two features I want to talk about are number one, this super resolution thing and the presets. So what is super resolution? Well, the super resolution feature actually doubles both the length and the width of the photo, resulting in 4 times more resolution in your photo. Now you can't usually see this if you're just using, the photos for social media or something like that. But if you're printing your photos, this is awesome, and it's really easy to use. Now, in order to use this feature, all you have to do is go to a photo. This is a raw photo, by the way. Right-click that photo and scroll up here to Enhance. Now, this used to say Enhance Details, but now it just says Enhance. And if you click that, it brings up this little panel here that shows you raw details. This was here before, so if you check that, it just helps improve the overall detail of the image. So that was there before. And now there is super resolution, and you can see what happens if I click that. It's gonna zoom in because the image is gonna have more resolution, and it's gonna give us an estimated time. So it'll take us 8 seconds to create this super resolution image. But in this little preview panel here, once it's done loading, all you have to do is click to see the before and unclick to see after. So you can click and hold, and you can see just the resolution difference is honestly pretty massive. And this is a huge tool for somebody that's gonna be printing their photos on a large scale. So once I am okay with it, I just hit Enhance, and then you can see it's loaded up here in the top left-hand corner, and the computer is currently generating that enhanced file. Now, do you need to be doing this with all of your photos? Absolutely not. I would say maybe if you're shooting landscapes or something where you do require a lot of resolution, or if you're printing your photos, this is a really awesome tool. And there it is, it's done. And at first glance, it doesn't look like there's any difference between these two photos. If I bring up the old one, I mean, they pretty much look the same, but you can see here in the top left-hand corner, it says the resolution of this is 3827 by 4784, whereas the enhanced is now double that. So you have much more resolution. And if you do zoom in, you can see the difference there. So pretty cool feature, and one that I am definitely excited to use for my prints. And some of those images where I'm gonna be cropping a little bit. This is an awesome feature. But let's check out the presets now. Lightroom added a bunch of new premium presets that are native to Lightroom Classic. So immediately once you download the software, these come built in, and you can see them up here. We have portrait, deep skin, medium skin, light skin, style, cinematic, futuristic, and vintage. And there's also a subject, which is travel. So I have a bunch of photos here, and I say we just kind of go through these presets and just kind of test them out and see what they're all about. So this is a cool image. This is the raw version, but I am gonna maybe bring up the exposure a little bit, just do some basic adjustments before I apply these presets, just to give us a good base of tones here. So let's go to the subject travel and just start applying these and seeing what they look like. Okay, a lot of good diversity here. Ooh, that's quite nice. That's nice. Okay, we got some black and whites in here. Yeah, these are pretty cool. That one looks really nice. The first one, this one, especially if I come in here and I just bring up the blacks a little bit after, maybe the shadows, reduce the highlights. Like that looks pretty awesome. What else do we have? Black and white. The black and white's really crispy. I like that. What about the style vintage? Getting a little bit of softer tones in here, less contrast. So in terms of adjustments they've made, they're doing basic adjustments, tone curve, color, and in some of them they're also doing color grading as well. So these are well thought out. I don't think they're adjusting things like the transform module, any of this stuff that is very photo specific. They're not touching that. But in terms of like basic tones and color and tone curve, they're adjusting all that, which is good. That's a sign of a good preset. So let's check out this futuristic here. Yeah, these are pretty cool. Let's change to another photo. This was shot on a Balinese holiday. Let's try out the cinematic. Okay. These are pretty cool. They're a little bit intense on this image, but this one's nice. CN6, I like that. They're nice colors, nice blue undertones, desaturated greens. Very nice. I think the travel ones are pretty good, but I also want to try these cinematic ones on a cinematic looking photo. So let's bring up the exposure here and then we'll start applying these. Ooh, that's quite nice. These are pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with these presets. I wasn't sure because the native presets that come with Lightroom, they're not anything special, but these are something different. I think they did a really good job with these. And that's coming from somebody that sells presets, right? So this technically hurts my brand, but ultimately if they're providing good value in the software, that should be talked about. So, but I think the most interesting thing about these presets is there are 3 new portrait styles: light skin, medium skin, and deep skin. And this is something that I think is really cool. People with darker skin complexions were actually at a massive disadvantage with color film back in the day, back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, because those films were actually made for people with lighter colored skin. So there was this racial bias of color film back in the day. Digital cameras is a lot better now, but I like to see that Lightroom is actually taking a look at this and understanding that light skin and dark skin render very differently on a camera and on an editing software as well. So let's put these to the test. I have some photos with people with lighter skin complexions and I have darker skin complexions as well. So let's test out these portrait presets and see if they actually do what they say they do. So this is, I would say she has lighter skin, maybe medium skin, but I think this is pretty light skin. So I'll just go down these presets here and see what they're all about. And wow, these are really nice. Not sure about that one. That one's a little bit much, but the first 5, that's nice. Those are good. These all look pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. Even this black and white one is quite nice. If I bring the blacks up, make it a little bit softer. Very cool. Number 3, number 4 is very nice. And then you can always go in and customize these. So if you think this is too much, you can just drag this left corner up, make it softer, bring the blacks up down here in the tone curve. And if you guys want to learn more about the tone curve, I just published a video about that a few days ago, so go ahead and check that out. But yeah, that looks really nice. Let's try another photo with lighter skin and just kind of go down these, and these look pretty nice as well. My edit was ultimately quite different because I really wanted to bring the blues out in this image, but overall, these are pretty cool. Let's try the medium skin as well. And these actually work better, I think. These hold her skin tone much better than the lighter skin, I think. At least the first one's there. Oh, that is cool. I really like that, actually. That's beautiful. Really nice contrast in there. And also let's try the cinematic ones because this is kind of a cinematic shot. So these are a little bit more heavily manipulated than the portrait presets because the portrait presets need to pay more attention to skin tones. But these look really cool. And overall, I think they're pretty awesome. Let's take a look at some darker complexions here, some darker skin. These little boys are so cute. I captured these guys on the Balinese holiday of Galangan, and they were smiling for me. They were in good spirits. So let's try the medium skin first, and we'll go through these. I'll put them to the test. Yeah, I think they're doing quite well. They're not overly manipulative. They're just kind of editing the basic tones, and honestly putting the photos in quite a nice place. Not all of them, like I'm not a huge fan of that, but pretty nice. Let's try the deep skin. Yellow, orange, red, yellow. Okay, so it's got just different variations of each preset depending on the complexion of your skin, whether it's leaning more towards yellow, orange, or red. And in this image, his skin is looking pretty dark. It's also backlit, so that's making his skin appear a little bit darker. But as you can see, these just kind of brighten up his skin a little bit, and it's very complimenting for his skin tone. Now, if we try the medium, you can see these are appearing much darker already, and the light skin is also appearing very dark, very high contrast. So not suitable for somebody with a darker complexion, whereas these deep skin presets do a really good job of bringing out the darker skin tones of a person and not just completely crushing them because they're super high contrast or something like that. It's just a little bit more relevant for people with darker skin. But yeah, I think this is coming at a good time. It's good to see that Lightroom is being racially inclusive and understanding that cameras and editing softwares and presets just detect skin tones much differently. That's just the nature of the game. But ultimately, these are pretty awesome presets, and I'm happy with how they came out. And it's good to see that Lightroom is actually creating presets that people can just, open the software and use and start to understand them a little bit more without having to go and purchase other presets that may or may not be good. You never really know. But yeah, overall for Lightroom Classic 10.3 update, I'm pretty happy. I love the super resolution feature. That is going to be awesome for some of my landscape photos and images that I need to crop in on. We get a ton more resolution, and that's awesome. We always love resolution. The presets are great. I think that's probably the highlight of this update. Just having all of those built-in presets that are actually quite nice. There's some really nice gems in there. And if you're editing for like Instagram or you want to have a very specific stylized look, those presets are going to do that for you. And also the performance upgrades for the M1 MacBook Pro users, for people that are using the Apple Silicon chip. Even if this doesn't affect you right now, if you use Macs, the next MacBook you're going to buy, if it's new, is going to be an Apple Silicon Mac. So it's going to be, the chips are actually made from Apple, and that is huge in terms of performance for us Mac users. So yeah, big fan of this update. I hope you guys enjoyed this short video. If you guys want to see more Lightroom videos, I have an entire playlist talking about all kinds of things within Lightroom, a bunch of tutorials and other how-to videos. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this new update as much as me, and I will see you again soon with another video.